Well, I have joining me now Hamilton Odunze. He's an international affairs analyst. He joins me from Boston, Massachusetts. We will be looking at the UN's threats of sanctions on Iran and Trump's hike in H-1B visas. Good to have you this weekend. This new sanction is to be reimposed, in Iran or on Iran. How effective would it be?
These are not new sanctions. It's very important to set the stage for our viewers so they know what is going on. The United Nations yesterday, the Security Council failed to pass a resolution that would have prevented the imposition of sanctions on Iran as a result of what they call snapback process. In the snapback process, any member of the Security Council can bring forward a resolution, and they can bring forward a resolution to say, let's snap back and reimpose sanctions on Iran. So that's what happened. The result, South Korea led the resolution, which sought to extend resolutions relief, but it failed to pass. The 9 votes needed to pass, it failed to get the 9 votes needed to pass. If you look at before we get to if it's going to work, if you look at how they voted, China voted against it, Russia voted against it. So we don't know. It's always, easier to take the position of we don't know. We don't know if this resolution is going to have any impact on Iran because of the new alliances that have been formed. If you look at how they voted, as I said, China voted against it, Russia voted against it. So we should wait and see what China and Russia are going to do on behalf of Iran to understand if the resolution is going to, how effective the resolution is going to be.
So bringing your attention to, these alliances or these, countries you've mentioned, I would just supposedly say Iran's envoy says his country has no obligation to implement the sanctions. If the sanctions had passed, I mean, from that statement, what would have happened if, these countries or the resolution was passed? We're speaking in terms of, looking at it from a perspective where it passed. If it does pass, how impactful would that be? Would that even, the envoy says the country is not obligated to follow in the, reimposing of that sanction.
Yeah, his specific words are, he called it unnecessary, hasty, and unlawful. He stated that Iran recognizes no obligation to implement the sanctions. But in a broader view, Iran's response focuses on the sanctions. It's part of their broader strategy regarding sanctions and technology development, including artificial intelligence. Iran is pursuing an indigenous ecosystem to counteract the effects of this international isolation and sanctions. So they are focusing on self-reliance. Well, he said the sanctions are unlawful. We don't know if they are really unlawful from the perspective that he's saying. But the thing is, Iran is going to focus on self-reliance going forward.
So do we have any idea what these sanctions are? Do we have any access to any of those documents as to what these sanctions might be for, incidences like this?
It's just, military sanctions, imposing sanctions that they are not supposed to produce certain, like pursue nuclear programs, basically pursue nuclear. And they've also banned countries from interacting with Iran in terms of helping them produce nuclear weapons and pursue nuclear programs. Those are basically what the sanctions are. But we don't know how that is going to work given that Russia and China voted against it, and with the new alliances, as I said, we don't know what those countries are ready to do on behalf of Iran.
So the last time the U.S. sensed this kind of thing, talking about building weapons Iran, there was a major attack on Iran. Do you think Trump will repeat what he did the last time by launching, weapons against the nuclear site again? This news about being 40 times even more than the required or commitment under that 2015 rule. How,
Right.
I mean, do you think Trump, being Trump, could do anything to ensure that nuclear weapon isn't built in Iran?
You said it right, Trump being Trump. We don't know what he's going to do, to be honest with you. But if you look at his last statement after the last strike, he said that he's willing to strike Iran again if the intelligence indicates that Iran was continuing to enrich uranium. He claimed June strikes were a tremendous victory. We don't know if it is a tremendous victory, as he said. But there are also some constraints on striking Iran again. For example, he said that if there are intelligence showing that we don't know what those intelligence are going to be in the near future, there are also diplomatic efforts that are being, that are being explored to make sure that there's peaceful. Iran does not pursue nuclear program. But the most important thing for Trump, I believe, is the domestic political factors. Some of Trump's allies and supporters have voiced concerns about getting entangled in another endless war, and this could, to a great extent, stop him from striking Iran again.
So why, in your perspective, though, is Iran so keen about building these nukes? I mean, I'm sure that is a basic, major question. And why why?
It's all about geopolitical relevance, right? So Iran, they want to be relevant when it comes to the Middle East, and also they also want to stop, attacks from other countries. When countries know that Iran is nuclear capable, it will prevent, unnecessary attacks on them, and that's exactly why they are pursuing this nuclear program.
Now, let's quickly move to another, topic in this segment, which is the issue of Trump raising, these H-1B visa. Can you help us understand this raise in the visa? What does it mean for the tech companies?
Well, what it means for the tech companies, everybody is now adjusting. The tech companies are now adjusting to how they hire. But for an individual, it has nothing to do with an individual. It's the tech companies, not just the tech companies, any company in the United States that wants to hire on H-1B visa, they have to pay $100,000 a year for, per worker that they hire. So what it means is that they're going to slow down on hiring foreign workers. India and China are, the biggest beneficiaries of this H-1B visa. But I think companies have to slow down now. For example, companies like Amazon are telling their workers, if you're on H-1B visa and you're still in the United States, remain in the United States, do not travel. And then those of them that are outside of the United States are being advised to come back before it kicks in.
So I wonder what your assessment is of this. And in your opinion, what do you think Trump is trying to achieve? What's at the back of his mind? Are we talking, all of these raises because he's a businessman? You can't detach the fact that he's a business person from all of these decisions and all of these executive orders who keep signing every now and then.
To be honest with you, I don't want to get into Trump's head. I don't want to psychoanalyze him. But the truth is that he takes these decisions. I don't know if they are properly articulated, but he takes these decisions. Take, for example, the tariffs that he imposed on probably every country in the world. Americans are the ones paying for it now. Prices are higher in the United States. Prices of, everyday groceries is higher in the United States. For example, coffee has, the price of coffee is way up. So I don't know what he's thinking, but I know that he's thinking America first. But his America first sometimes is not very well articulated when he takes these decisions.
So, I mean, it's just like you said, Trump, he's always promised during the campaigns he's going to make America great again, talking about the MAGA. But can anyone blame him for these, changes? And how, like you said, can you just quickly explain, just in a minute, how these impacts these tech companies, especially like you mentioned, China, India, and the likes?
Well, America is going to be America before or after Trump. He has the "Make America Great Again" is just a political slogan that that targets his base who elected him. So when they hear "Make America Great Again," they are all excited and they are all in for whatever Trump is doing. So it's just a political slogan, and the idea of tech companies. Remember, we now have technology that can help them outsource most of these things that are bringing people in to do for them. So they're not even going to lose as much because they're going to have to start outsourcing, and they've been doing that for the past 15, 20 years. So what's going to happen is that the outsourcing is now going to go into a different phase where they probably outsource everything that Trump wanted to Americans to do.
Right. Thank you so much, Hamilton Odunze, for making out time to join us on The World Today. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Right.